What's up, everyone? Hope you all are having a great day today. And this video is actually a kind of different style of video. I did one of these last year, and this is the annual garage tour. And so before we get started and really jump into this, I just want to give a second and just say, if you guys like this kind of content, or if you just like my page in general, feel free to hit that subscribe button, and while down there, hit that like button as well. Super helps me out a bunch. The other thing I wanted to mention is I do have some merch in the description below as well. I've been working on a couple different designs, and overall, I think they're pretty funny. They're not all related to Gunnar's Garage or anything like that. They're just kind of memes that I've kind of made up and threw them on a t-shirt. So there is a Teespring link down there as well. You can also find my link tree. That also gives access to all my social media and everything that covers that. So with all that being said, welcome to the 2024 garage tour. This whole garage technically isn't mine. I'm still in my parents' house, so bear with me here. This is pretty much it as far as garage things go. This corner is kind of everything that I get to really make mine, which is cool. So thankful that I live in a house that allows me to do that. And so thankful to my parents that also are allowing me to do that and make silly videos in the garage. So yeah, it's very basic. Not a whole lot has changed from last year's garage tour. The only thing that has really changed is, you may see behind me here, right back in the corner, there is a welder. And right off the bat, I just want to say thank you to my future father-in-law for allowing me to be able to use this welder. We'll get into the welder in a little bit here, but just overall, thank you for that as well. And I like it. I like this whole space. I like to keep it pretty organized. Last year was the first year that I bought my first ever decently sized toolbox. And so I'm also glad about that as well. So we're going to dig into the toolboxes, the bench, the welder, and we'll even, if you're new to the channel, I'll even show you my two cars that I have, and we'll kind of go over all the details on both cars as well. You can kind of see the WRX in the background as well. So yeah, I think that's enough blabbering for the first section of the video, the introduction. I think that's a pretty fair amount of blabbering. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on like this shelf area, work our way down to the toolbox, the workbench. I'll explain that weird blue thing there, and then we'll go on to kind of the welding and cars. So yeah, let's just kind of hop right into it. I'll shut up now, so let's get into it. Okay, so this and that is what I like to call the random junk shelves, if you will, because it is random junk, and there's more random junk spots throughout this garage tour. So first shelf is, we got some spray paint, brake fluid, varieties of WD-40, brake parts cleaner, all that stuff back there. This is kind of awkward, even though this is my second time doing this. We got a project for that. Red for Miata. That's coming soon. Brake fluid, we all know what that is. Every guy needs to have a oil filter box with a oil filter in it that is used. But that's just to remember the part number, really. Miscellaneous stuff back there. Got my gloves, very important. Brake cleaner, very important. PB blaster, very important. Masking tape, 2 degree, very important. We got more of that came from. Some really crappy detailers. that I haven't used in a while or ever. You can tell by the dust on it. So yeah, then we have a monster can filled with nuts and bolts, because that is the only use that Monster has brought to me throughout the years. Then we have the overall Sharpie and squeegee, and I don't want it in my pocket place right there. Earl, gotta have Earl always. And then right behind the Earl is jack oil. Those of you who remember my jack exploding, that's why we have that in case of emergency again. Got a battery and some more miscellaneous tools and stuff, or not tools, nuts and bolts. Then we move on to this thing. I will never, ever, ever get rid of this little toolbox. This is my first ever toolbox when I first got into cars, pretty much. You can see the J-Bugs sticker on there. That is because I bought this, or no, I didn't buy it. I think it was a Christmas gift, actually. The J-Bugs is when I had my 74 Volkswagen Beetle. I miss that car every day. But I will get another one day, just to relive those memories. There's just miscellaneous stuff in there. There's sockets. I locked the drawers for some reason because they like to be locked by themselves. A random drawer, and there they go. Keep some gloves in there. Random wrenches. And, oh, sorry. Wow, she's angry. Sockets that I don't have room for in that one. And then we kind of have to play the game of fiddling with it so it stays shut. But you know, that's first toolbox thing. See, look, there they go, opening again. All right, so we're going wide shot. You might even see my dogs in there, so I'm sorry about that. First thing that I kind of wanted to just show right here. This is just a impact driver, very self-explanatory what that is. So we got that one right there. Drawer number one. To be honest, I haven't opened it before I started shooting this video, so I don't know how messy it is. I can already see some mess in here. So we got a variety of wrenches and all my sockets and extensions in this one. You might also see some green spanners in there. Those are for the coilovers on the Miata. I just kind of, you know, keep them in there, whatever. But yeah, variety of sockets. I also have my wrenches right there. Definitely want to get more of those. I just need to completely redo my wrenches because they're all China wrenches. So I need definitely more of those. And then I have my old school torque wrench that lives in there softly. And then my variety of 3/8 and 1/2 inch wrenches. Just they all kind of live in there in one spot. There might be some other things you might not be able to see without getting deep in there. So yeah, that's kind of like the first drawer, the main drawer. Anytime I really need something, it's going to be in this drawer. Anything as far as sockets and stuff like that. I even keep a couple of little tiny pocket screwdrivers. Really beat up flashlight. Need a new one of those. Miata wheel lock key. Should probably be in the Miata. Don't know why it's in there, but you never know, dude. So that's drawer number one. My main drawers are going to be on the left side, and my non-main deep drawers on the right side. So we'll open up this drawer in here. Kind of scooch y'all in a little closer here. So drawer number two. This is the screwdriver, drill bit, pliers, all the handheld kind of tools that you would normally see. Variety of screwdrivers, variety of pliers, vice grips, a bit more. I also have some crescent wrenches in here, some tiny ones. Then all my longer tools back here, long screwdrivers, long pliers, and then more pliers. So that is drawer number 2. Very basic. I have this very basic tool organizer in here as well. I'm a big guy for tool organizers. I like having everything kind of have a home in here. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Second drawer down, or excuse me, third drawer down. This is a messy drawer. All right, third drawer down. Don't know why there's sandpaper in here. This mess is electronics and other miscellaneous things. This is just, I have hose in here, vacuum line in here, all my electrical connectors in here, various parts and pieces. These are in here, snippers. I actually don't know why those are in here. Those would be in the second drawer. Voltmeter, code reader, variety of wires that I can use to rig up anything that I want to. We got wire cutters in here, bunch of electrical tape, heat wrap. We got so much stuff. We got light bulbs. You know, need a light bulb, I got you covered. Random sandpaper is going to live in there. Don't really care about that drawer. All right, fourth drawer from the bottom. We got Allens. We got all the Allen keys in the world in here. I'm a big fan of the T-handle ones. I also have, you know, the regulars. But you're like, why is there wrenches in here? You may ask. Well, those are standard wrenches. All my metric stuff is in the top drawer. And then the big Makita box, that is standard heavy duty impact sockets. You may need them, you may not. That's why they live so far in the bottom. I don't typically use them. Last drawer. He's got a knife. That's the first thing you see. This is all my hobo freight stuff. I got tap and die sets, poly pullers, ball joint separator, punches, race and bearing set. I got grease in there. I have a vacuum pump for brake bleeding. I totally forgot what's in the very bottom black case right there. Let's just open it. Yep. Curiosity has the best of me. We're gonna take that in there. Spring compressor. That's what that is. Okay, and a pickle fork back there in case you ever needed that. Spring compressor. I'm actually glad I had that because there's times where you think, oh, you might need that one day. All right, now we're moving on to the most useless drawers ever. There's only one drawer in here that I actually like. First one on the right side. What will it be? Drum roll, please. Useless junk. All right. Everything that came in bags and everything that I bought. This is my extras. I have body clips. I have everything. Hoses. Air freshener. I need that, actually. That just has useless junk that you don't need to see anymore. Moving on. My favorite drawer. You can already kind of see. This is the angle grinder drawer. Angle grinder, safety glasses, earmuffs, and a million discs. This is just a very cheap Makita angle grinder in here, corded. I kind of like the corded one. I got it because it was cheap, and I just wanted an angle grinder because they're useful. A battery powered one day would be awesome. In the space that I have, I don't justify buying a battery powered one at the moment. But yeah, angle grinder drawer, very self-explanatory. I like it a lot. My bread and butter, especially when we get into the fabrication stuff. That drawer is very useful. Bottom drawer, it's more useless junk. I know, you guys can't see. Useless drawer. It's not entirely useless actually. We got funnels. We got a coolant bleeder funnel there. We got a oil wrench. Headlights off the WRX. There's just some boxes in here and stuff like that too. I don't know. I like to keep boxes for some reason. I'm just a box guy. There is a heat gun down there, and then the U-band coffee is all the standard sockets that I have as well, like 3/8 and stuff like that. That wouldn't have a home anywhere else. I'm hoping the fella that used this as a socket container before me, hopefully he didn't drink the coffee. I am hoping that he dumped the coffee out and used that for storage, because man, you would have to have some hair on your chest to drink that stuff. Anywho's, sorry for the joke. We are going to move on to the workbench. So this part of the garage is kind of special, but at the same time it's not that special. So this table, which was once a Harbor Freight tool cart, let me give you a little bit of backstory. So originally my setup previous to Garage Tour 2023, I had every single tool that I owned on this cart until I got big red box behind me there. So yeah, everything was on this cart, and once I upgraded to this amazing toolbox, I was like, well, I was like thinking about getting rid of it, you know, selling it or throwing it away, or, you know, whatever. So basically what happened was I was like, well, I think I might actually use this to actually make a tool, because I always wanted a workbench. So I was like, you know what, we'll just make this to a mobile workbench station. And then that's kind of what I did. So we got our hands on some pretty decent slab of wood, cut it to shape, and what we did is, you might see some screws in the top itself. There's actually kind of a frame underneath it to just kind of hold it in place and keep it really snug on the table, on the cart itself, because we did mount a vise to it, and that is on a really thin piece of aluminum. So we got, just so there's some separation between the wood and the vise itself, pretty much. So we made this, me and my dad made this. Honestly, the quickest project we have ever done in our whole lives. Every time, let me tell you, every time me and my dad work on something, it is a 2 to 3 day process max. And you know, that's not a bad thing, but I was actually blown away that we were able to get this thing built in half an hour, and then I ran to Harbor Freight and got the vise, and it was complete. So that's just kind of the funny thing that always happens. Is I'm sure a lot of y'all out there who do father son projects, you know how it is. But yeah, this was really awesome. I'm super glad that it turned out the way it did. I even think last year, I don't even think it was like this last year. I think it was just a tool cart with some extra stuff that didn't fit in the boxes on it. But kind of got pretty organized for this year's tour. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a slab of butcher block that was free. Cut it, made a frame, and that's pretty much it, honestly. On the bottom, I know it's going to be a little harder to see, but there is really nothing special on the bottom. It is just welding shirt, an apron, grinding gloves. That tote down there in the bottom, that just has spray paint and an extra oil can pretty much in it. And then there's just some extras back there. I keep a jug of oil and some extra coolant in case I need it. The Miata, it doesn't eat it; it leaks oil, so that's fun. I mean, what Miata doesn't? So you can kind of see there is some loose metal down there too. There's a steel plate and a couple of pipes that I like that were nice and would have just leftovers from the two projects that I did fabricating, the harness bar and the rear crash bar. But yeah, what made all that from scratch. This is just kind of a my nice area. You can't see it, but there is a creeper right here. But I do need a better place for it. I don't really like how it's just kind of protruding out from the wall here, but it is what it is. And then I have my jack stands. Again, you can't really see it. And a jack, just some garage essentials. All right. So the big blue thing that you can see right there, that was a old tool cart for my job that they were just thrown away. So I was like, oh, well, I'll keep it. I'll take it as the hoarder I am. And so I cut everything off of it. And so now what I do is I fold it down and maneuver it how I need it. And then this basically becomes a welding surface so I don't burn my cart down or whatever. So it has like sides on it and stuff like that. So it kind of somehow contains, or it tries to contain all the welding stuff that goes on here. I also use it to, when I'm cutting or anything of that nature, I just kind of lay that down, and then I have somewhat of a confined space to work when I need to. So we're kind of at the last part of the tour. So like I said in the beginning of this video, this welder is the welder that I am currently borrowing from the future father-in-law. So I'm really thankful for that. I have it in my possession because they moved out of state and they didn't want to move it, which, you know, I'm fine with that. So yeah, this is a Harbor Freight welder, but it is the old school Harbor Freight welder. You can't even get that anymore. And you know it's the old school because it's the blue. The blue is the good stuff. So this is just a flux core welder. Very, very basic to what I need it to do. Very, very, very beginner friendly. So that is the main purpose of it was just so I can learn how to basically just weld. A very minimum part about it is just me learning how to weld, and I do want to upgrade in the future. Probably by next year, I'll probably have um, an actual like MIG welder. So that's just kind of, this is the stepping stone of really how to get into fabricating. There's going to be guys out there that say you need the best equipment first, which to a degree I can understand that. If you, because when you buy a welder, you really buy one welder, and that thing's going to last forever. So I can understand buying all the best equipment first, but I'm the type of guy that buys the lower end products, really learn how to do that, and then get into the better stuff. Because, you know, my theory is, if you learn how to weld on the machine like this, then if you step up and get a proper MIG or TIG welder, then it's like you're unstoppable. So I mean, yeah, I think this is really good for really trying to hone in the craft of fabricating, to at least start stepping in the right direction. You know, people are gonna say what they want about Harbor Freight stuff, but I think this one is great for what it is intending to do. And yeah, it's a very friendly welder. I think very basic. It's on off, minimum or maximum, point and shoot in your welding. So yeah, there's just some accessories on the cart itself. Just a couple of wire brushes, my gloves, and then I have. Everyone has one of these, so we got that too. There is a very antique grinder down there. I've only used once and I got scared. So yeah, there's just a variety of stuff on this cart. Again, I am super thankful that I am able to use this and kind of get to learn how to weld. I've always wanted to, and I want to keep buying carts so I can weld stuff on them. So yeah, that is I want to say the mechanical side of the garage tour. And now for this part, I didn't do it last year, but for this year, I'm going to kind of show you the two cars that I have. And as the years go on, I'm going to just show you the fleet again and again and again every year as kind of a tradition on this channel. So we're going to start with the Miata, we should start with the WRX because that is what really kicked off the channel. I've had cars before that, but the WRX really had the snowball effect on the channel. So we're going to start with the WRX, then we'll hop into the Miata, and then further down the line, we'll be like WRX, Miata, so on and so forth as the fleet grows. So yeah, we're going to hop into the WRX, really show you guys what's going on with that thing, and Miata, and that'll be pretty much a wrap. So let's get into it. All right, so this is my 2020 Subaru WRX. I bought it 3 years ago now, and it just rolled over 30,000 miles. So that's pretty average, actually, 10,000 miles a year. And this has probably been my most favorite car I have ever owned. Why? Well, because growing up, I've always, to a degree, really liked Subarus, and I've always liked that Subi rumble. So those of you who may know about the Subi rumble, But this car, I've definitely had the most fun with, and the community around Subarus in general are also just fantastic. Everyone that I've talked to at shows or at meets or wherever you may like, everyone that I've talked to that drives a Subaru is a awesome dude or gal or whoever you are. Um, but yeah, I have nothing but love in this thing. In fact, so many people like the Subaru that this morning I walk out to the car and um, I've seen a couple of people do this on TikTok, but some guy left me prints of my own car. So that's how you know the WRX gets a lot of love. But as far as modification wise, um, it's not a whole lot besides the stuff that you may just see, very basic. Just quick run off of the top of my head of the list. We got a downpipe, full straight pipe exhaust, an intake, wheels and tires, some miscellaneous lips and spoilers and stuff like that, duckbill spoiler. That's pretty much it. Did I say intake? Well, I said it now. So, and it's stage 2. This summer, I'm hoping this summer I can make a video about getting a pro dyno tune on the car. So I think that would be a really awesome video. Just getting it all squared away. This is also the car that I've owned the longest. For a while I went and got a car pretty much every 6 months to a year for a long stretch. We all know the story of the GTI side story. I have that on my channel as well if you wanted to check that out. But there was a car that started the channel technically, but this car is definitely the staple of Gunnar's Garage. That is the WRX. Super special car. I love it so much. But we do need to change some things up on it too. So projects never end. So now let us show you my Mazda Miata. Oh boy. So this is my 1995 Mazda Miata. And this thing has had kind of a rough life. But we'll kind of elaborate that a little later. So first things first, I wanted to share with you about this car. So I bought it about a year ago, probably a little over a year ago now. And the guy I bought it from definitely wanted to get rid of it. And I now know why. Well, I've known for a while. But there wasn't a whole lot of information that he could provide on this car. Or he did, and I wasn't listening because I was like, I'm going to buy Miata. So, yeah, that's kind of how that transaction went. I was a little too excited about purchasing this car because it is a very traditional Miata. Red, pop-ups, that's pretty much it. So he did tell me that it was motor swapped. I just didn't know from what. But it is has a MB1 Miata engine in it with NB drivetrain. Everything in this car is from an NB. And there is a couple videos on the channel of building it somewhat. So let's just do a quick parts recap here. So we have one of the first things that we did was there is a Mishimoto radiator and fan setup Fans are run to a switch, and you saw the switch panel video on the channel. So we have Miata radiator, which works awesome. Fans also excellent. And then from there, I want to say we we did a custom exhaust as well. And by custom, I mean I sawzalled the muffler off and um, really poorly fabricated a tailpipe, which to me is interesting because when you're looking from the car from the back, they all come out the right side, but mine comes out the left side, just to make it a little bit more special. What I said in the beginning of the video, there is a harness bar and a rear crash bar that was made from scratch. So I made those two, and then from there, after I put the harness bar in, naturally you have to buy harnesses for your harness bar. So we did that, and the bucket seat. Um, Firmly planted the bucket seat into the car, and by firmly I mean permanently. So that's interesting. Spiced up the wheels a little bit, painted them white all the way around, and then yeah, so we did white wheels, coilovers. I don't know why I forgot about the coilovers. That was probably the easiest coilover install I've ever done. Super duper straightforward. They are Rev 9 coilovers. So far, so good, actually. They actually ride pretty well for being eBay coilovers. Um, so, yeah, that's kind of a very brief description of what I've done. It's not a whole lot. Um, the things that are definitely next is a steering wheel. So I got just a kiss more of leg room, because as you can see, my knees are almost to the top of the door, and you're probably really scratching your head to why a 6'5" giant can fit in a street legal go-kart. I make it work. So yeah, and I've driven Miatas in the past, so you know, you just gotta make it work, man. Anywho's, so yeah, we got seat harnesses, radiator, coilovers, custom exhaust, um, and this thing's a blast. So, and yeah, owned it for about a year. The only thing that the car absolutely needs right now is the engine needs a rebuild. Just needs a full rebuild. It still has a little bit of power in it, but the rod bearings are going out on it. I mean, I can still technically drive the car, but I wouldn't just do rod bearings. I would rather just build the motor. So I'm kind of at two avenues right now. We could take the motor out and rebuild it here at home, or I can go and get it fully built at a shop and call it a day, and we can put it in. I would have to see how feasible both options are. I don't want to do anything crazy like swapping like Ellis swaps or 350 swaps or whatever. I don't want to go that crazy. I want this motor to be dialed in, because I want to drive this car more, and I would drive it more confidently if I didn't have rod bearings that are screaming at you. So, and we want to get that fixed before we start getting rod knock. So that's kind of like the story of the Miata so far. I definitely want to build the motor, But yeah, I want to get some opinions. I want to know if I should yard it out and build it here or have another shop build it. So if you do have shop recommendations, type it down in the comment box below and let me know. Or do y'all think I should just do it myself and make a bunch of content on it? That's it. I think that's it, guys. I think that is it for the 2024 garage tour. I think we finally did it. We got her all dialed. But yeah, really stoked. Thank y'all for watching the 2024 garage tour. I always like doing this. I definitely want to make this a tradition. Now that we're ramping up the production quality, as you may notice with this microphone, y'all stick around for 2025 garage tour. Same time next year, I promise. So, yeah, I just want to end the video by saying thank you guys for watching today's video. If you did like it, hit that like button. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out a bunch. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later.